done with an actual cassette recorder, so that's why you see this. That is why you don't want white noise. It sounds horrible, you can't hear anything. And what you're looking at right here is these spikes, and listen to it again, cranked up the best we can without killing you with white noise. But
so you can hear a little tiny dog barking. This was taken in a closet that had no external windows, was in the middle of the building, no windows anywhere nearby it, no dogs in the building. And interestingly enough, there's a picture in one of the offices on the first floor of Mr. Satterley. Is his first name Frank? I kind of want to call him Frank, but Mr. Satterley. And in the painting, he's holding a little tiny dog. So, you know.
We had no clue about that because we went in there, you know, you expect to get voices, you expect to get mumbled things, maybe something knocking around. We left the recorder in the room at the end of the hall, and we guarded the end of the hall, so no one was going down there, and then we went down there, retrieved it, and went playing it back right in front of everybody that brought us there. We're like, yeah, listen to this, we're expecting a voice. I was like, bark, bark. Huh? It's like, what? It's like, huh?
Which just goes to show you can never assume what you're going to find.
So, but we have a nice variety of EVPs posted. We have them all on the website and everything else if there's anything else you want to hear. But fire off your questions. Come on, let us have something. You heard the science, the dry, boring side of the eye can feel. And you got the psychic and everything else that we use as well. What do you want to hear? Come on. Fire them off. Participate.
Can you pictures?
We have
Plenty.
a lot of pictures. Actually, we can do like a slideshow. Like it's still kind of tiny. But these are some of the pictures we've taken. These are of orbs. These are the big orbs. Actually, this one's rain, just to show the difference between what an orb looks like and what rain looks like. And rain has kind of cross bottoms. Here's some mist. We got this picture in a cemetery up in Potsdam.
I
That's nice.
What you're looking at is some of the mists on these. You get the slides you're running through too quick. What happens is everyone's heard of orbs, right? Well, you have this mixed group. Everyone's coming up with different ideas. Everyone's coming across all kinds of stuff. An orb is a spirit. An orb is an alien entity. An orb is nothing but dust. An orb is rain. An orb is everything and then some. Actually, there is a wonderfully documented and very, very good phenomenon. It's called ball lightning. What you're looking at when it comes to an orb is basically ionized air. The brightness of that orb is determined by the voltage of that, like, lightning, basically. It's basically the dust balls for ghosts. Because when you look at them, often you see an orb traveling in a direction. It's like, oh, look that way. Everybody goes and takes photos and try and capture the orb that's turning and moving off in this direction. What we found through some of our research is the fact that if you see the orb going that way, turn around and take a picture that way. You'll actually get stuff like that. That's like a concentrated mist, and if you look very close at it, you'll see tiny orbs, like thousands of them, make up this mist. And it's very defined. You'll see hard edges on every bit of it. So it's not fog, it's not breath, and all the other stuff that we did to get this photo, but that's usually the way it works. We think of it in terms of the Charles Schultz cartoon. The Charles Schultz cartoon with the pig pen, and he's like scuffing around, he always has little swirls around him. Orbs are kind of like that for ghosts. So
it's like little balls of energy that just kind of break off of them. And this was taken at a local cemetery, and we were walking away from our car in the back, and we kind of heard something in the woods. So one of our other members was with us, and we're like, take a picture. So I turned around and took a picture, probably just as it like walked in front of him, and then this is what we got. And don't ask us to explain what it is. It's just
there's nothing in front of the lens. What we saw was a black shadowy shape that just went right across the road in front of us, and he snapped a photo at that moment. And what you see is this weird white protrusion, like glowing up like this. The entire like lens of everything has been redshifted, except for this one little black streak right here. That's the true color of night right there. And then you see this reciprocal like edge over here that's sort of burning in, coming this way. But it came across like that, and that's where we got the photo. So for us, it was a black shadowy shape. That's what it appeared as on film. So
And this was taken, what was it?
Sackett's Harbor.
Was it?
Yeah.
Sackett's Harbor?
Yeah.
And so you can see like the gigantic red blur down the side.
This is one of those daytime ones where it's like, what the heck is that? But you see arm here, leg here, and it's just right there. There's nothing else, no other reason behind it. Which brings us to one of the other things is we've got some decent results with digital, but the biggest thing, all of our apparitions that we've ever gotten have appeared on film. It may have something to do with the shifting of light, because the film can actually take in some more of the spectrums than digital can. Digital can film into the IR and visible light. Meanwhile, film can take in even into the ultraviolet ranges if it can, if you shift it that way. But high-speed film actually gives us more apparitions than the digital. Digital, we usually just get orbs, mists. Sometimes we get lucky and we get something, but our favorite photo.
Yeah, this is a really cool photo. It's kind of back from a distance, so I mean, you guys probably can't see much of the details. But the cool thing in this photo is where the ghost is. I think when everybody first sees this, it's kind of like, well, there isn't a ghost. It's a bunch of headstones. You know, there's nothing there. But if you look at this headstone, and you can come and see it in more detail after the talk, you can see where there's a stick that goes behind these headstones, and you can see it through this headstone. So later on, once we realized that that headstone was transparent, we went back to the cemetery, and we managed to find that cluster of headstones, but that stone is not there. It doesn't exist, and probably at one point it did exist, and somewhere there's somebody who's like, I was buried there. You know, and so, you know, sometimes they don't always show up as people. Sometimes, you know, they have other things they want to accomplish by staying at a location, whether it's just to be remembered, to have people know where you're buried.
This is also the cemetery where we first brought in the ESD, and we were here about 5-6 hours. We're wandering around. It got really cold, and someone made a crack about one of the team members once it was getting late, and everybody sort of laughed at it. We had the ESD out, and all of a sudden, it's like right at just as we were all sort of snickering at them, and we hear coming right through the speaker. And we go, what was that? It's like, okay. So then we had our team members, like one of them was trying to do a smart aleck and see if they could laugh or do something again. And they're making all these horribly bad jokes, and it wasn't responding, it wasn't doing anything. And all of a sudden someone was just like insulted her for making such bad jokes, and it laughed at her. It's like, okay, so the ghost had a reason to do this, but at the same time it also has a very good sense of humor. This up here, don't even notice much until you really kind of zoom in and you see the eyes up there. This was a cemetery. Someone reported seeing a misted figure up there, and they're like, hey, check this out. So this was up by Winthrop, and we went up there, and I was checking into all of this, and got swarmed, the battery, got the drain, everything's going on. I was like, got some very strong orb photos. I was like, okay, so there's an indicator there might be something going on here. And then switch it over, and it's like, what's the photo? Look at it.